Hi, I would like to first start off this video with saying yes, I am a Kyle Larson fan. Here's my homemade flag. Yeah, it looks like crap, but I made it because I got bored. I have Kyle Larson diecast right here from before the incident. And in my closet over there, I do have a Kyle Larson t-shirt. And I have another Kyle Larson diecast of his throwback car coming in the mail. So I just want to start this out with, yeah, I kind of have a biased point of view because I'm a Kyle Larson fan. And no, there isn't going to be some deep psychological reasoning to why NASCAR fans hated Kyle Larson's winning streak. It's not going to be some pure, like, it peer into their mind. Like 90% of these haters were molested as a child with someone with a Hendrick Motorsports t shirt on, so now they hate everybody who drives for Hendrick. It's not going to be like that. But from like the beginning of when guys started to have winning streaks, now I don't know about Richard Petty. If when he had his giant winning streaks, if people hated that, probably not, because he's the king. I do know Dale Earnhardt though. When he had his winning streaks, people didn't like it. Um, yeah, I only know that because there was like two groups of people. There was Dale Earnhardt fans who loved it when he just would go on these massive tears, and then there were people that would hate it. But I feel like it's just with Kyle Larson, it feels like only Kyle Larson fans are enjoying it. There are no just like casual NASCAR fans who are fans of other drivers who are enjoying it. It seems like most of them aren't enjoying it. Like it's only Kyle Larson fans. Like when Dale Earnhardt was on his giant winning streaks, there were a few people that there was a subset of people that like they weren't a fan of Dale Earnhardt, but they were fine with him going on these massive winning streaks because they could appreciate the greatness that they were witnessing. With Kyle Larson, it's different. He doesn't have this long reputation of greatness. No, he has a reputation of saying a racial slur on Twitch and getting banned by NASCAR for a season and then having to get an appeal to come back. That already doesn't help him. And then the fact that is, I feel like, a part of it. And then another is people want to see their drivers win too, which I get. I get it. You don't want to see the same person win when you're not a fan of them. But this is different. When Kyle Larson comes down the stretch, is about to win a race, and blows out a tire, in one of the most heartbreaking ways to lose a race. Like, you're gonna win it, you're right there, and then you blow out a tire. It is the most heartbreaking way to lose a race. And people are rejoicing. That happens to Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch. People don't like it. Happens to any other driver. People aren't going to be happy with it. They're going to feel bad for him. Or at least more people are going to feel bad for him than people feel bad for Kyle Larson. Because only Kyle Larson fans feel bad for Kyle Larson right now. But, like, I get wanting him to not win. I get it. It's not fun to watch the same guy just dominate and dominate and dominate, unless you're a fan of him. But you got to think about Kyle Larson for a second, the actual person. I mean, how would you feel if I know I'm looking, I know I'm trying to use your emotions to feel sympathy for Kyle Larson. But imagine you're winning all these races and you're being pretty successful. And people, they're happy because you're too successful. But then when you lose, people aren't happy because you're unsuccessful. And then they're like, oh, just win a few races here and there. So you're telling him to intentionally lose races? What? Why would you intentionally lose races? That's not showing who is the best out there. These are competitions for a reason. They're to show that the best is out there. And if Kyle Larson is the best out there, then he deserves to win every race because he's the best out there. Obviously, well, I'm not going to say he's not, because he might become the number one. He might be right now. He's number one in the playoff standings. And he might become number one in the regular season standings. But he's one of the best out there, so he should win a majority of the races. If you want him to intentionally lose, then you're also not. If watching him dominate isn't watching good racing, then neither is watching him lose. Because then you're just seeing a guy not try. And we complain about that. Like on the non-points paying races that are just for money, the guys that don't try get clowned on. Like, people don't like that. But you want Kyle Larson to do it. Because he's Kyle Larson, he's won too many races. It's just because people saw the story. But it's like a really bad joke. It shows somebody that doesn't know anything about what happened with Kyle Larson on Twitch and him getting appealed and stuff. I'm not going to justify what he did. He went out there, he tried to make his wrong a right, which he didn't have to do. And it doesn't make up for what he did. It was incredibly stupid of him. But he tried to make up for it. People don't... I feel like that should be acknowledged at least a little bit. But you show somebody like a Kyle Larson post-race interview, Kyle Larson, how he interacts with fans, just like Kyle Larson being Kyle Larson. You have a guy who is the height of a 9th grader, is very soft-spoken, is very polite with fans, enjoys being with fans, and he seems like such a nice guy. But then people act like when he's in a race car, he becomes this villain that is going to steal your children at night. It's like a bad joke just because it's juxtaposed by Kyle Larson. If it was any other race car driver, if it was Denny Hamlin, if it was Kyle Busch, if it was Kevin Harvick, if it was Kurt Busch, if it was Chase Elliott, if it was William Byron, if it was Alex Bowman, if it was any other driver, people would be fine with the winning streak. They want to see him get the 4 wins in a row and join the annals of NASCAR history and join some of the most recognizable names of NASCAR history to win 4 races in a row. But Kyle Larson does it, gets close to doing it, and people are like, oh, I'm so glad Kyle Larson didn't win. Like I'm going out in the streets and dancing naked because of how happy I am that Kyle Larson got his heart broke at the end and probably feels like absolute crap right now. So happy about that. Really? I mean, I get not wanting someone to win. I don't want LeBron to win championships. When he lost to the Golden State Warriors a few times, it's not like I was going out and rejoicing about it. I suppose you could put me in the category of preying on his downfall. But I didn't want anything bad to happen to him. I did want him to lose, yeah. But when he did, I wasn't going to make a video rejoicing about it. I wanted Jimmy Butler to lose the finals after he eliminated the Pacers and was dirty and tried to injure Miles Turner. I didn't make a video saying how happy I was after they lost. These Kyle Larson is such a good driver. I feel like he looks at it this way too, or else he wouldn't be doing as good. Kyle Larson is such a good driver that people are mad at it. He is so dominant that people are mad about it. And you know what? When we look back on it, if this doesn't change, if people continue to just, most of NASCAR fans just don't like Kyle Larson, and it continues and it continues and it continues. One, I think Kyle Larson should embrace that and become a villain. That'd be so fun. Just the juxtaposition. It would be so fun. And two, I think once he retires, people will look back on it and be like, oh, we were watching greatness and we just didn't appreciate it because we wanted to see our drivers win. Which I get sometimes. But every once in a while, you have to just step back and realize what you're watching. Like, this guy, he goes out there every race. He knows every race for the rest of his career, what he did on Twitch is going to be brought up. He knows that his life is never going to be the same. He knows no matter what he does, a majority of people are going to make fun of him and be mad at him. And he just goes out there and drives. At the end of the day, he goes out there and he drives. And he does it very well. I mean, that battle at the end with Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman slipped up. You think it's because Alex Bowman's a bad driver? No. Do I think the pressure might have gotten to him? Maybe. But it wasn't pressure from the fans, from the media. It was pressure from Kyle Larson. Being right there. And he knew that eventually Kyle Larson was going to catch up to him. And that pressure was building and building and building. You look at Nashville. He didn't, I don't think he won any of the stages. But he won the race. Because at the end, he won. He was in first. Completely switched the narrative from earlier in the season where it was, oh, Kyle Larson's going to win all of the stages, except for the last one, the one that matters. And then the past few races, he didn't win most of the stages and won the race. I think he had 2 races that started off the winning streak where he swept the stages. Yeah, the 2 that started off, he swept the stages and won. Those were true dominance. But in the All-Star race in Nashville, I think Nashville, he won one of the stages. And then he won the race. And at the Ally 400 in Nashville, he didn't win any of the stages and he won the race. So any narrative that people came up, he just kept on switching it, kept you guessing. Started off, Kyle Larson starts out good, can't finish. Kyle Larson dominates the whole race. Kyle Larson doesn't dominate for the first half of the race. Kyle Larson dominates for the second half of the race. And then now, Kyle Larson keeps it competitive for most of the race and then gets unlucky. Now, it's been one race where that happened, so I don't know if it's going to become a narrative quite yet. If it happens 2 or 3 races in a row, then it will. But it's been a new thing every time. So when people say, I don't like to watch the same driver dominate every time. Okay. But it's not like he won in the same way every time. He won in a new way. There were 2 in a row where he dominated, yes. But then after those last 2, he won in a new way. He kept it interesting. What's not to enjoy? Oh, your driver didn't win and you're just mad that he's not as good. Which I get that. I get being mad because you just can't compete. Yeah, I'm a Pacers fan. I'm a Red Wings fan. I'm a Tigers fan. I get what that's like. But if I saw a team that I didn't like lose because they got unlucky, that's not a real loss. They lost because they got unlucky. That's not a true representation of the talent they have on that team. They didn't lose because they were bad. They lost because they were unlucky. Can't can't bask in that because they didn't really get beat. They just lost. There's a difference. Getting beat means you were at full strength, had every opportunity to win, and you got beat by the other team. Just fair and square, you got beat. Losing is where, at the end of the day, the other team scored more points or finished higher. Just in a vacuum with no context, yeah. They won and you lost. With context, they might not have won if you were at full strength, if it was completely fair. If everything went the right way, you would have won. So Kyle Larson, he beat everyone else. For the last 4 races, he beat everyone else. He didn't get some lucky break to win. At least not that I can remember at the end of the races. He didn't get some lucky break to win. He beat them. They raced cleanly. He beat them. And in this last race, he did not get beat. He lost. And people were happy. More people were happy than people who were upset. And again, I'm used to that. Well, actually, I'm not used to being a fan of a team that's so dominant that people are preying on its downfall. I'm not used to that. I enjoyed that thoroughly for the past 4 weeks. But I do know what it's like for as soon as you lose, that's it. You're no longer good. That's it. The past doesn't matter. At that present time, you lost. You didn't get beat, but at that present time, you lost. The Pacers, that last game of the season, they didn't get beat by the Wizards. They lost to the Wizards. We were not healthy, and the Wizards were. So, the final answer to the question, why do people not like it when Kyle Larson wins? People don't like it when Kyle Larson wins because at the end of the day, he beat their favorite drivers. And he did it fairly. He didn't need luck. He didn't need crashes to other drivers to happen. In fact, most of the time that stuff hurt him because he's not the best off restarts. He beat them. He didn't win. He beat them. And that eats away at people. Kyle Larson is like Patrick Beverley or TJ McConnell or Vladimir Konstantinov or Xavier Rhodes. Who is that cornerback? Josh Norman. What's a MLB example? Jose Bautista. Those guys, they get under your skin. As an opposing fan, as an opposing player, they get under your skin because of how good they are. Kyle Larson is like that. He drives you and he beats you and he drives you crazy. Because he can just beat you fair and square. There's nothing you can do about it. Even when other drivers sometimes get lucky breaks to try and beat him, they can't. They just can't, because he is that good. He gets under your skin. That's the reason why people are mad that Kyle Larson wins. Because he does it, and there's no excuse for why anybody loses to him. It's just because he's better, and that scares people. Because it means that if other drivers don't get better, nobody's going to beat him. And he's the best. There's nothing anybody can do about it. I'll see you guys next time. As always, I'm not funny, and that difference between getting beat and losing that I came up with, somebody's probably said that before, but I just came up with that off the top of my head. I came up with a quote that's probably going to end up on a t-shirt. I want the profits from that if you're going to make that. Just saying. Copyright. Limitless Pulse 2021. I'll see you guys next time. And Kyle Larson, or Kyle Larson fans that are watching this, let's enjoy getting under people's skins because of how good our favorite driver is. Because there's nothing they can do about it. Yeah, when we lose, they'll say stuff, but again, it's because we lost. It's not because they actually beat us. Remember that. And then you'll feel a lot better when people say stuff because they had to get lucky. We didn't. I'll see you guys next time.
There's the 2-2. Oh, and he went too far.